All right, Coach. 2-2 weekend. You're battling close in both games against number 7 Angelo State last Friday, but then you responded in a huge way. Couple run rule wins on Sunday against UT Permian Basin. Just kind of break down the weekend for us. I know, real competitive on Friday, and then really bats came alive on Sunday.
And that is one thing that we competed well on Friday. You look at both those games, we compete well for 5 innings. We just didn't finish the game. And a big thing we talked about, particularly on offense, like we've created a lot of opportunities. Most of our games, we always finish those opportunities. I think game 2 we leave 10 on base, and you lose by 2 runs if I remember this right. That's a difference right there. And there's a lot of runners in scoring position as well. So we're doing a good job creating opportunities. We've got to go finish that. I thought the response on Sunday was really good. It was a little bit of a trap. You come off losing 2 games, 2 tight games, hard-fought games. How are you going to respond? And I thought we responded well, and really in game 2 started hitting well and got some different pitchers to step up as well. So that was really good to see.
Coach, really the top half of the lineup really took off this weekend. You look at names like Kiara Wheaton-Hop and Taryn Barney and Lacey Barricachea. Those 3 have kind of really Cavazos and Ray and Lerma. That group's really kind of come together in the top half of the lineup. Just talk about those hitters as a group because they've really led the charge.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see. Like we want to see a collective of hitters. We know hitting's contagious, both directions, unfortunately. But if we can get to a point where it's not, hey, it doesn't have to be all go down today. All right, if you can always have 4 or 5 continuing in each game, day in, day out, to go to provide a spark for you. And we've seen a lot of different lineups. People come off the bench and really contribute. Starters for this game, starters for that game, depending on matchups, who's hot, who's not. We've seen a lot of different roles kind of be interchangeable, and that's what we need. We need the versatility, but continue to not have days where only 1 or 2 hitters step up. We never need less than 4 or 5 to step up. And then when you have that day when you've got 8, 9, 10, 11 when people come off the bench, those are the really fun days. But we got to be consistent with having 4 or 5 really coming through and contributing each day.
Coach, we were just talking earlier. This weekend really kicks off a nice stretch for you guys. You're going to take on Sul Ross, Western New Mexico, this weekend. That's going to kick off a 12-game stretch where you guys have 12 really winnable games the rest of the month. And in the Lone Star Conference, with things as jam-packed as they are at the top, this is a nice stretch to have right in the middle of the season, right when you've kind of figured out you guys' identity. Kind of talk about this stretch as it kicks off the rest of this month.
We try not to approach it too differently. We want to take care of ourselves more than anything. You're always scouting the other opponent. You're aware of the other opponent, whether it's top 10 or somebody struggling. But we have to continue to get better at being who we are and taking care of our talents and what we do well, and making sure we're disciplined on every aspect of the game: base running, pitching, defense, hitting the ball, having quality at bats, taking care of our scenarios, getting bunts down, taking the extra bases, good reads. That's the things that we have to keep pressing on and keep getting better at. And, like we've talked so many times with the team, that's when we have the most fun as well. When we're being who we are, we're executing what we do, whether it's a 2-1 ball game or we've got a little stretch and it's 8-1, 9-1, and there's some breathing room. That's when the most fun happens, when we're playing our ball and executing the way we do things and train.
Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.